Coming up on Mountain News at 6, the man accused of driving drunk and causing a deadly crash in Laurel County last week was in court yesterday. And 2 colleges in the Appalachians received a grant to help with multiple departments.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We're just past 6:30 this morning on December 6th. Now let's check in with Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. And Brandon, it's quite the chilly morning out there, and I'd say we have really a wide variety going on around the region right now, from a little bit of snow to some rain. We have everything right now.
Yep. Matter of fact, we got a little bit of snow on the grassy areas. It was on the road there a little bit earlier on US 119 on top of Whitesburg Pine Mountain, but you can tell it's on the grass this morning. They finally got it off of the roads, but be careful if you're up in the higher elevations, 2,000 feet or above. Give yourself plenty of time to get back and forth this morning. 32 up there. So again, roads probably not quite cold enough to start giving any issues this morning, but still keep that in mind. 35 in Clintwood, 32 in Wise. We're going to Pikeville here in just a little bit, 35 over that way, 36. Prestonsburg, Jackson, 36 in Hazard, 34 in Logan, and again, some 40s out there this morning. Harlan, Middlesboro, and Monticello, along with Jacksboro. And I can tell you this, it don't feel like no 40s out there. 26 is what it feels like right now when you factor in the wind. In Wise, we're at 27 in Pikeville, and then again, low 30s across a bunch of the region. Those winds coming out of the northwest. So kind of a mess to start the day. But here's the thing, hang in there. We've got a couple of drier days to end the week, and then we're tracking some dual threats as we head toward the late part of the weekend with another cold front. Olivia?
All right, thank you, Brandon. A Southern Kentucky man accused of driving drunk and murdered told police and first responders of heavy alcohol use before the crash that killed a man. That was the testimony in a Laurel County courtroom yesterday. Wesley Allen is accused of murder in the death of Fred Johnson. WYMT's Phil Pendleton covered the hearing and has more on what took place.
Fred Johnson's family lined up in the front of the courtroom to see Wesley Allen, who is charged with murder in Fred Johnson's death from a crash last Tuesday night.
Honestly, it took everything I had in me to stay in my seat, but I knew that it would have just made things worse.
Swanson and others heard a deputy talk of how Wesley Allen admitted several times to drinking beer before the head-on crash.
Under Miranda warning and consenting to give a statement, Wesley Allen said that he had been working on the farm all day with animals, and while working he had consumed beer throughout the day.
Mink said Allen then told them of going to a local restaurant and drinking some more while watching an entire athletic event.
He made the conscious decision to drink, and then he made the conscious decision to get behind the wheel of the vehicle. So in retrospect, he made the conscious decision to take our family member away from us.
There was also testimony today that they could find no skid marks at the crash scene. The weather at the time had been clear and dry. They also stated that Wesley Allen had admitted to using a cell phone before the crash happened. The deputy said Allen said he looked up and saw headlights, and that's all he remembers about the crash.
It's been an emotional roller coaster, It's been up and down. It's been crying, it's numbness. Today is more anger than anything, actually seeing the guy in person.
The judge found probable cause, and a grand jury will consider an indictment against Allen. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Allen will be in court again on January 19th when indictments will be unveiled. One man is dead and another arrested following a shooting in Wayne County, West Virginia. Dispatchers say it happened early yesterday morning along Blue Moon Hollow Road in the Dunlow community. Police say investigators found Jason Perry dead of an apparent gunshot wound. Chester Mollett was arrested and charged with murder. He was also charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm. Troopers say more arrests are possible. 2 people were taken to the hospital after a crash in Wayne County, Kentucky. It happened Monday at the second stoplight on the Kentucky 90 bypass in Monticello. When police arrived, they found a truck traveling west on the road entered the left lane to turn onto Barnes Drive when another vehicle hit the truck. The truck driver, Ella Thompson, and the driver of the car, Sandra Dolan, both of Monticello, were taken to the Wayne County Hospital. No word on their conditions. 2 people were arrested after a shoplifting incident in Whitley County. Williamsburg PD were dispatched to the Williamsburg Walmart on November 22nd. After an investigation, officials determined Jamison Lowe and Lori Lowe, both of Canada Town, were involved. The pair were accused of stealing more than $1,400 worth of merchandise. Both Jamison and Lori Lowe were taken to the Whitley County Detention Center, but Lori has since been released. 2 Appalachian colleges announced they have received a grant to help with science, technology, engineering, and mathematics pathways. The National Science Foundation granted the University of Virginia's College at Wise, Southeast Kentucky Community and Technical College, and the University of Virginia $100,000. UVA Wise Associate Professor Karen Carter says the grant money will go to growing STEM pathways for students.
We are trying to determine what's the best pathway forward. So they've had a couple of the legs that they've achieved some scholarship monies, and they've been having great success. And so this time we want to continue that.
Carter says that next step would be introducing their students to various industries and allowing them to build connections. The lineup for next year's Railbird Music Festival in Lexington is out, and it includes several Eastern Kentucky natives. Chris Stapleton and Noah Kahn will headline the festival next summer from Red Mile. Railbird is set for June 1st and 2nd. Eastern Kentucky natives Winona Judd and Dwight Yoakam, along with Hoosier, Counting Crows, and others, are also performing. More than 40,000 people filled the infield of Red Mile during this year's music festival. Officials at Red Mile say they're excited to have Railbird back next year.
They did an amazing job gathering, I think, really solidified talent and the up and coming talent.
You can buy pre-sale tickets starting tomorrow. For ticket information, head to Railbird's website. You can find a link in this story on the WYMT News app.
Coming up on 640 this morning, tracking a little bit of wintry mix, a little bit of rain, a little bit of snow in the higher elevations. And speaking of snow in the higher elevations, let's zoom in just a little bit and take you to where we're probably seeing that snow this morning, from basically Lee County, Virginia, into Harlan County, into Wise County, Virginia, up into Letcher County, Kentucky, in the very highest elevations. So again, that's kind of where our snow is. Now, not in Pikeville. We are looking at wet roads in Pikeville there at the US 119, US 23 intersection there, but it is the right temperature. 35 over there at the airport. We'll show you the Pikeville Medical Center camera here in just a little bit. 32 in Wise, 35 in Clintwood, so they're joining Pikeville there at 35, and then 36 Ashland, Prestonsburg, and Hazard, and then 34 in Logan. So we got some dropping temperatures out there. Still have a few 40s out there, but Jacksboro now down to 39 as well behind that front. So we're going to continue to track these cooler temperatures, and we'll have the latest forecast coming up here in just a few minutes. Olivia?
Thanks, Brandon, and thank you for joining us. We're coming up on 641. Still to come on Mountain News this morning. Threats of terror. The war in the Middle East is leading to heightened risk here at home as a warning from the FBI comes before the holidays.